So Spectre was announced, and I'll be honest, I thought 2 weeks later I'd have more to talk about Spectre, but we don't. They're going to do their thing where they do no communication for weeks at a time again. So instead, I'm going to talk about the other characters that Nexon teased in their little tweet here. For those of you who don't know what I'm referring to, they actually made a tweet celebrating 100 days of DNF Duel being out, and they put this little cake with these toppers on it. And the prevailing theory is that these toppers represent the characters that are going to be introduced to the game. Now, this is a little bit corroborated by the fact that we got Spectre and the fact that these toppers really closely resemble characters that are fan favorites. So today we're going to take a look at who these characters are and what I think their archetype is going to be for DNF Duel, if they get released ever. So first off, we got this little girl with the hair, and this is definitely going to be Nen Master. Keep in mind, I'm just guessing here. I didn't play DFO, so I'm kind of just going based off of what I see and what I read from the character description. But Ned Master seems kind of like a combination between Striker and something a little bit more elementalist. So my guess is that she's going to be a little bit beefier, maybe a 950 health character, probably a little bit of rushdown, probably a little bit of mid-range. She almost makes me think of like a Noelle Vermilion type character from Blaze Blue, where she has a lot of emphasis on rushdown, but she also has a lot of like special attacks that she can chain together and things like that. So that's kind of my guess for where she's going to be at. Number 2, we got this cross-shaped cookie, and I think that this is going to be from Monk, one of the fan favorite characters. Monk, to me, really just looks like a little bit of a more offense-based Crusader. So I think he's going to be a 1000 to 1050 health character. I don't think he's going to have the 1100 health privilege that Crusader has, but I think instead of abilities like the orb, the tracking wall, the big hammer, I think he's going to have a lot more things like dash punches, chain normals, and he's going to be a little bit faster overall. Again, he really just looks like a more brawly version of Crusader who wants to get a little more in your face as opposed to space you out at mid and long range. This one with the eye patch here is going to be Male Brawler. Despite the name, Male Brawler actually looks like he is more of like a gimmicky kind of character. He looks like he has a lot of abilities that determine the way that he plays. So if you look at it in the trailer, he uses a lot of chains, he uses a lot of, he's got barrels, traps, stuff like that. He actually reminds me a lot of Belial from Grand Blue, and I don't know, maybe I can't get past the fact that they look very similar, but he to me looks more like a combination of like Troubleshooter and Striker, where he has the ability to get in and close, but he also has the ability to kind of set up his traps or set play or even like mid-range chains, kind of whatever he ends up having. I think that's going to determine a lot of his play style. This little guy with the sunglasses here represents Spectre. I guess sunglasses are like a huge part of her persona. It sort of makes sense based on what I've seen, but she looks like a very cool character. Spectre to me looks like just a very well-balanced, cool character. She definitely has like a little bit of a Ghostblade aspect with some of her dashing. She has a little bit of like almost a Berserker aspect with some of her rushdown kind of sword stuff. It's hard to describe her really, but she just looks like a very balanced character. She looks, if I saw this game with her in it, I would say she looks like the most Shoto character. And I'm really interested to see how they use her chain. She has a long-reaching chain that's probably going to be a good either poking tool or zoning tool. It's going to be some sort of mid to long range tool. Obvious character comparison here is Virgil, I think. She looks extremely similar to Ultimate Marvel's Capcom 3 Virgil. She has a good mix of mid and long range. She's probably going to be a strong character, especially since she's very popular. The last one is the only one I think is a little debatable, but the consensus definitely seems to be that it's Witch. I definitely think Witch is going to be an 850 health character. She just looks like the premier sort of squishy character archetype. And I actually want to go out on a limb here, and this might be just what I'm hoping for, but I think she might be a puppet character with multiple puppet types. If that's the case, I really don't know who I'd compare her to, but my other guess would be that she's like Nine the Phantom from Blaze Blue. Nine uses different elements. I think she can charge like fire and ice. She has some really cool combos that she can use by combining them, and just going off of the trailer, it looks kind of similar to that in the way that she uses different element types. So that's all the characters that were teased. I know that this is by no means any kind of official or anything like that, but we got Spectre, and it really seems like something that they would do, so who knows? Maybe I'm just hoping we'll see what ends up happening.